everyone, this is Marika and welcome back to another session of Community Health Nursing. So in our previous sessions, we have discussed about what is eugenics, what are the different measures of eugenics, and we also discussed about environment. Let us quickly recall what is the environment, how environment affects our health status, and move on to today's topic, that is air and air pollution. Now, environment, as we know, is the immediate surrounding of the man, and it constitutes not only of the living organism but every non-living materials as well. So, environment is the immediate surrounding of the person. Environment influences the person, and it consists of everything that surrounds an individual. We also discussed that there are a number of factors that affects the environment that causes environmental pollution, and it can be natural or it can also be man-made causes. Environmental pollution is one of the major concern of our world today, as we know that the environment has major impact on the health status of an individual. Especially when we consider India, we see that agriculture is one of the major occupation of people in India, and people rear cattle as well. Because of the waste of the cattle, such as cow dung, it creates, if it is not discarded properly, there will be mosquito breedings and it will also lead to various problems. So environment has to be maintained. A suitable and a safe environment has to be maintained for people to not develop any kind of disease, to not acquire any kind of diseases. Environment is therefore very important for us, and we as human beings are responsible to maintain the environment, as we are the creator as well as the molder of the environment. Under environment, first thing that we are going to discuss is the air. Now, air, as we know, it is the basic for every living organism in this world. What is air? Air is a mixture of gases that is found in the atmosphere, right? And men or human beings require air in order to sustain or in order to live their life. As we know, the atmosphere of the earth consists of 5 major layers, which includes the troposphere, the stratosphere, the mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. So these are the major 5 layers of the earth, and from all of these layers, the troposphere is the lowest layer of the atmosphere. Now, troposphere is the layer where we see the air movements as well as formation of clouds. There are 5 different layers in the atmosphere, in the Earth's atmosphere, and we know that the troposphere is the lowest layer where there will be formation of clouds, and also air movements are seen in the troposphere of the Earth's atmosphere. In the troposphere, we find 78.1% of nitrogen, 20.73% of oxygen, 0.93% of argon, 0.03% of carbon dioxide, and the rest is made up of methane, helium, nitric oxide, etc. Along with all of this, water vapors, dust, fumes, smoke, and particles of bacteria, viruses, and spores are also found in the troposphere. Now let us see what is the function of air. What are the different functions of air? The very first and the primary function of the air is sustaining life and growth. So air is the basis of living organism, as I said. So the major function of the air is to sustain life and growth in the planet. Another function of air includes combustion, maintaining of the temperature, supply of energy, and also photosynthesis. So there are many different functions of air, but these are the major functions of the air that we see. Now that we've understood what is air and what is the lowmost layer of the earth and what are the different types of gases and other particles present in that layer, which is troposphere, and we've also understood the functions of air, let us now see what is air pollution and how does it affect the health of an individual. As I said, air is the basis of all living organisms, and without clean air, we cannot have or sustain good health. So air is the basis of all the living organism, and the air that we breathe must be clean, it must be safe, so that our health status is maintained, good health is maintained. When there are any kind of changes in the composition of the air, it will affect the health of an individual, it will affect the health of human beings. Usually when we see developed countries such as UK, USA, Japan, and even in India, air pollution is one of the major problems that is faced by different countries. Air pollution is responsible for respiratory, nervous, as well as cardiac problems that are found in people. So different kind of diseases are found in people which are actually caused by air pollution, and majorly cardiac, respiratory, and neurological problems are seen to be caused by air pollution. The air that we breathe becomes harmful for the people as well as animals, other living creature which requires air to sustain their life. So when this air becomes harmful, when we breathe, when it is the basis of our life, it is obvious that it will cause damage or it will deteriorate our health as well. But why does this air pollution occur? Now, air pollution occurs because of the presence of undesirable substance or elements in the atmosphere. In air pollution, we see that the substance which are not supposed to be present, the elements which are not supposed to be present is present. That can be one of the cause. Or sometimes the elements that are supposed to be present in a certain level is present in much higher concentration than it should be present. Alright. So air pollution is caused because of the elements, undesirable elements in the atmosphere. Now this elements is either not supposed to be present there at all, or if it is supposed to be present, there's obviously a certain level that it should be present at. So there's a certain level it should be present at. So when that level is exceeded by those elements, it causes air pollution. Let us see the definition of air pollution. This definition of air pollution is given by American Medical Association, and they say that air pollution can be defined as air pollution is defined as the excessive presence of the foreign matters which cause harm to the well-being of an individual, or we can say that it adversely affects the well-being of the living organism. So this definition given by American Medical Association says that air pollution is the presence of foreign materials in the atmosphere, in the air. And the presence of this foreign material is found in excessive concentration, which will adversely affect the well-being of the living organisms and cause damage in the living organisms. Air pollution will have adverse effect on the well-being of an individual. If the air that we breathe, which is the basis of our life, it is not pure, it is not safe, then it is obvious that it will cause certain problem in the health of the individual, in the health of the people. So what are the causes of air pollution? The causes of air pollution is majorly divided into two categories, which is the natural cause and the man-made cause. In natural causes, we have causes that occurs naturally, as the term suggests, such as volcanic eruptions, forest fires, electronic storms, or dust storms. Whereas in man-made causes, we have those causes that is made or that is done by people or human beings, which is polluting the air, such as industrialization, overpopulation, development in automobile, and also nuclear energy and domestic combustion of coal, oil, etc. Here on the screen, you can see the causes of air pollution in two different categories, which includes the natural causes and the man-made causes. As I said, under natural causes, we have volcanic eruptions, forest fire, electronic storms, or dust storms. Whereas in man-made causes, we have industrialization, automobile, deforestation, and domestic combustion of coal and oil, etc. Pollen grain, fungal spores, and decayed vegetable matters are also natural causes of air pollution, whereas advancement in the agricultural technology and nuclear energy are some of the man-made causes. These are the various causes that are included under man-made and natural causes. Let us now see the effects of air pollution. How does air pollution affect our health? Now, if there's pollution in the air that we breathe, it is obvious that it will lead to continuous cold and cough. It will lead to various respiratory problems, uneasiness, and ill effect on our strength and also our capacity to work. So these are some of the temporary effects of air pollution. We also have permanent effect of air pollution. Air pollution will affect the health status of an individual, and in short term, it will lead to cold and cough, having certain kind of respiratory problems or uneasiness, and also decreased strength to work or decreased ability to work. Whereas in permanent problems, we have various chronic respiratory disorders as well as cardiac disorders such as bronchitis, asthma, tuberculosis, lung cancer, atelectasis. The brain, the circulatory system, and kidney is also affected because of air pollution. So the effect of air pollution is temporary and permanent, but there are other effects of air pollution as well, which includes affecting the growth of the plant. So air pollution, excessive air pollution will not only affect the health status of an individual but also affects the growth of the plant. The buildings will also lose its color over a period of time because of air pollution. Because of the presence of dust and smoke in the air, the buildings will also become colorless over a period of time. Because of air pollution, there are other things that may occur, such as unpleasant smell in the air and decreased visibility because of the air pollution. It may also lead to various road traffic accidents because of the decreased visibility and also road traffic disturbances. So these are the various effects of air pollution on human beings, on the health status of human being, on plants, as well as on non-living things. Let us now see prevention and control of air pollution. There are four major steps because of which we can prevent air pollution or we can control air pollution, which includes primary approach, legal approach, mass education, and other techniques. So first, let us try to understand what comes under primary control. The first thing under primary control is to reduce the number of private vehicles. So as we know, air pollution is caused a lot by vehicles, right? We have seen automobiles, how they are responsible for causing air pollution. Therefore, the number of private vehicles that are used by people must be reduced in order to maintain a clean environment or in order to prevent air pollution. Reducing the number of private vehicles will obviously lead to another problem. People have to travel from one place to another for work and various other purposes. So what is the next step that we can do in primary control is that we have to have a proper public transportation system. If people are not allowed to use their private vehicle in order to prevent air pollution, then it is obvious that public transportation is required. So therefore, it is necessary to maintain or have a good public transportation system as well. Another important step concerning automobile is that production of electric vehicles or vehicles that will run on solar energies are to be produced and used in more amount than to use the vehicles that runs in petrol and diesel. So vehicles that require solar energy or electrical energy can be used as a replacement for petrol and diesel vehicle. And other things under primary control includes stop overloading the vehicle and to test or determine the age of the vehicle. So when we use a car for a certain period of time, the vehicle will start to emit a lot of smoke into the atmosphere, into the air, which will cause air pollution. Therefore, the vehicle that is used by the people must be maintained over a period of time, and we have to determine the age of the vehicle to see that the vehicle is not producing a lot of air pollution. It is not causing a lot of air pollution. All of those are under primary control. Next, we have legal control. Under legal control, we have setting up Industrial Pollution Control Board at state and central level. So this is the initiative that has to be taken from the government side, where they have to set up the Industrial Pollution Control Board at state level as well as central level to see that the pollution that is caused from industrialization is decreased to a certain extent. Another step is that private organization must be forced to protect the environment, which means there should be certain laws every private organization must follow, which will help in prevention of air pollution and protect the environment. Another step involves providing PUC certificate, making PUC certificate compulsory so that air pollution can be prevented. What is PUC certificate? It is pollution under control certificate. So these certificates are usually issued for the vehicles to see that the vehicles will emit certain amount of smoke into the atmosphere. So PUC certificates must be made compulsory and the law must be implemented in a proper way to make sure that pollution is at least controlled. The third technique that we have under prevention and control is mass education. We have already discussed about how important public participation is in any program that is planned. So without public participation, it is impossible to achieve such kind of programs. It is impossible to have a successful program. So public participation is very much necessary because environmental pollution is caused not just by one particular person or not just by a targeted group of people. It is by all of the people involved. It is caused by actions of each and every person living in this world. So mass education is very much important in preventing or controlling air pollution. Whenever health education is provided, we as healthcare professionals, when we provide health education, we must make sure that we inform people or we teach people about air pollution as well, different hazards of air pollution, different causes of air pollution, how it affects the health of an individual, what are the different problems that an individual might have if air pollution is not under control. So all of this must be given importance while health education is being provided to the people. Now, as I said, as health educators or health professionals, we will have to provide health education to people, and during health education, we must give importance to air pollution. We must teach people about all the aspects of air and air pollution. But it is not the responsibility of only healthcare professionals. Different departments such as transportation department, engineering department, medical department, forest department, and police department is also equally responsible for controlling air pollution. So it is the collaborative effort of all different departments who can work together towards the control and prevention of air pollution. Voluntary organization and local administrations must also be informed about air pollution, must also be taught about the importance of maintaining a proper and safe environment, and they are also to be included for providing mass education to the people. And finally, we have other techniques which includes plantation by the government as well as various voluntary organizations. Deforestation should be discouraged strictly. Industries should be set up away from the residential areas, and proper methods of disposal of waste also must be present in a particular community, society, as well as throughout the nation. As we have discussed, private vehicles or increasing number of vehicles are one of the major cause of air pollution. Therefore, sharing of vehicles to travel from one place to another also must be encouraged. People should be taught about the ill effects of air pollution, and mask, helmet and glasses must be used by people to protect themselves from any kind of problems that can be caused by air pollution. Alternative fuel must be discovered to replace woods. And finally, developing green belts must be done near industrial areas as well as residential areas. So these are various other measures that can be taken for control and prevention of air pollution. That is all for today's class. So to summarize, today in this session, we have discussed about what is air, and then we have discussed about what is air pollution, under which we've seen what are the effects of air pollution, how it affects the health of an individual, animals, plants, as well as how it affects the other non-living materials in our world, where we will discuss about other physical factors that affects the health of the people. Thank you and have a great day ahead.